There are only 7 types of transients in the entire repertoire. So there are 3 with the bow and 3 with the left hand, and then 1 with both hands. Of course, the 1 with both hands is the left hand or the right hand pizzicato. And that one we've already talked about a little bit, so we'll leave that one alone. The 3 with the right hand are the bow change, the bouncing stroke, and the string crossing. Now, the bow change is the easy one, but what's happening in terms of the physics is that corner that we talked about on the string, when you change bow direction, the corner changes direction, and it takes just a little bit of time for that to happen, and that's why you hear a transient there. With the bouncing stroke, and really I'm referring to bouncing strokes that go in the same direction, like ricochet here, the transient comes from this tiny circular oscillation that's started as a result of your kind of vertical stroke. And eventually that works itself out and it becomes horizontal, and you want as little articulation, as little precession or circular motion as possible, but sometimes it adds a little bit of character or sass to the ricochet, so that's kind of great. The third type, the string crossing. This one, of course, can be very smooth, or very direct. And as you are doing the string crossing, be aware that what's happening is the string is starting to twist. The new string is starting to twist. And this is a torsional wave. The torsional wave changes very quickly into periodic motion, which is why string crossings can be so smooth, and why we have to work a little harder than some of the other types of articulation to make them happen. The left hand articulations are the dropping motion, and of course the most important part of that dropping motion is that you immediately release the finger. I like to release it into vibrato wherever possible. And of course that's for scales going up. When you're coming down a scale, you're going to pull slightly sideways off the string, almost like you're doing a left-hand pizzicato, but not quite that much. I usually think of it as an oblique motion because the fingers are almost coming back into the hand. And then the final type is the shift. Now the shift is the tricky one. So let me see if I can show this on the camera. When you shift, you're going to want to lift your finger so it's just barely in contact with the string, and then drop it on the new note. So when you're going very slow, it sounds like this. And you can hear there's not as much ring in the sound during the shift. Even though you can still hear the shift, there's not as much ring. And that's because your finger pressing so lightly on the string is actually stopping some of the wave reflections going back and forth on the string, and it's creating a tiny space that's going to give you a very clean shift in a fast tempo. Those are the 7 types. That's all you're ever going to need.